Welcome to tonight's live stream. I'm going to get started in a minute. Just want to possibly see if anybody is going to be watching the stream, and I may promote the stream. In tonight's live stream, I'm going to be talking about a subject called passport derangement syndrome. Now, this passport derangement syndrome is something I have noticed as related to many of the Black males who disagree with the opinions I presented in my videos, which were to refute the false narrative regarding Black men getting passports to go overseas to pursue relationships with foreign women. And many of these Black males, as they have disagreed with my points made in the discussion regarding Black men getting their passports to go overseas and pursue these relationships with foreign women, have escalated their behavior to some extremely dysfunctional actions. And I have classified these actions as passport derangement syndrome. And it's very similar to the behavior many Americans participated in the aftermath of the 2016 presidential election when they found out Donald Trump was their new president of the United States. And these people, because they could not deal with the fact that Donald Trump was the new president of the United States, they went into complete meltdowns and many went berserk. And all of this was captured on your social media because these people could not deal with the fact that Donald Trump was the new president of the United States. They decided to act out in extremely dysfunctional fashions. And I'm noticing the exact same behavior with many of these Black males as related to my videos on Black men getting their passports to go overseas and pursue relationships with foreign women. I'm noticing many of these Black males participating in a similar series of meltdowns and participating in the exact same kind of behavior online. Because many of these Black males, when they watch my videos, would go into these meltdowns and record these response videos and go into into these emotional tantrums where they were just so angry about me presenting this argument on passports that they were practically having meltdowns in the response videos. And several were out here participating in 3, 4, and 5 hour live streams, all to talk about me and things as related to me, all because I presented this argument on these Black men getting passports. Now, what's really troubling to me is I have received information about this whole passport argument, and I was not the first person to present a refutation of this passport narrative. From the information I have received from numerous people online, they have told me that at least 3 to 4 other YouTubers have refuted this passport narrative in the past, and no one has gotten this irate or has gone into this level of emotionalism online when those other Black male YouTubers presented their points refuting the passport narrative. No, we did not see Black males practically going into histrionics as related to the refutation of the passport narrative with other Black male YouTubers. Moreover, about 2 weeks ago, Sandman presented a video talking about Latin American women, and he read a letter from a man in one of these Latin American countries where he talked about how these Latin American countries were no longer places where people were going out to get these easy relationships with foreign women due to feminism coming to many of the countries many of these black men want to go to, like your Brazil and your Colombia, and the complete shutting down of men going their own way channels on those platforms in those foreign countries. So, in those foreign countries, on the social media there is a lot of those men going their own way, and they're going their own way because feminism is coming to those South American countries. But the black men, none of those black men who are upset with me are going over to Sandman's page to blow up his comment threads and go and make all of these hostile and argumentative statements against Sandman. And these same black males, several of them, when they heard about Sandman's video, they all decided to start conceding to Sandman and saying that the whole road to free and easy sex with foreign women was closing in those South American countries due to feminism. So there is something really wrong over with many of these black men because they don't get upset at Sandman, a white man who presents facts to them, nor do they get this upset at all of those other black male YouTubers in the past as related to this whole passport narrative. Most of these same black males didn't have a word to say about this narrative for years after it has been refuted, from what I have learned, but they get upset with me. So when I take a critical examination of the behavior of these black males, this seems to be personal as I see it, because when you have your black male getting upset at one man, but not getting upset at other people, whether it be the three or four black male YouTubers or Sandman, a white man, that shows me that this is some kind of personal as related to the behaviors of these black males who have participated in an escalation of some extremely dysfunctional behavior. Now, when I made the first video refuting the passport narrative, several of these black males got upset and made numerous response videos that were filled with emotion. And even though I tried to settle the issue on Obsidian, they continued to escalate their behavior and went out here and one guy wanted to start an argument with me on a live stream after the show. And again, I looked at the behavior and it was still escalating. And a few days later, I tried to put more responses to it, but then they started putting out memes. And this week, the behavior started to get creepy because there were some of these black males who were going and following my Twitter feed and posting what they thought was something that they thought would incriminate me, as related to a picture of a goth girl's jeans. And they were trying to use this to try to say that I was some sort of hypocrite. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, look at this behavior of these black males. You're practically stalking another man's Twitter and doing this in the hopes of digging up dirt. Now, this isn't the first time they have done this, but this is just quite disturbing. You have grown men going to another man's Twitter looking to find information to dig up dirt, all because they disagree with a narrative that has been refuted by multiple other people. And they have an issue with me presenting this opinion, it seems, and it shows how there seems to be some sort of passport derangement syndrome with these individuals only as regarding to me. Now, these other people can present these arguments, and there is no frenzy as related to their behavior. But when it comes down to my videos, they want to participate in this extremely dysfunctional behavior. And again, these black men have been participating in this behavior for over 2 months now. And this behavior fits right in line with what David Carroll talked about as related to the way black males who are raised by single mothers participate in extremely dysfunctional behavior. Because all of the behaviors these black males participate in were like trying to get me into a back and forth, talking behind my back, and doing things like spending 40 minutes out of their day to make memes attacking me. These are all many of the effeminate behaviors that your black males are participating in, and what your David Carroll talked about as related to the dysfunctional behavior of the black man. And what's really troubling about this is we have all of these black males participating in this dysfunctional behavior, and these are supposed to be our so-called educated professional brothers, and our so-called educated professional brothers are acting like a bunch of junior high school girls and looking to destroy another black man, all because they disagree with his opinion. But these same black males will sit there and accept the opinion of Sandman, a white male, and multiple other black males. And that's one of the most disturbing things about this is this behavior takes me way back to my junior high school days at IS 148. And when I look at the way these black males are behaving on social media, I find it to be quite troubling because we have, again, educated, professional, so-called select black men acting like a bunch of 12-year-old boys and looking to destroy another black man, all because they disagree with his opinion. And when you look at that, that in a nutshell is the passport derangement syndrome, because it seems like the passport derangement syndrome is only targeted at one black man, but not targeted at other black men who present the same arguments, or a Sandman, a white man who has been going his own way. No one is going over to those threads to attack those black men, nor are they out here attacking Sandman for presenting the same information to your black males out here. They only want to attack me with these response videos, and they only want to attack me on social media with these memes that they post in numerous groups. And thanks to these black males, I have been forced to change the way I do business online for social media. I have lost a lot of Facebook friends because a lot of these black males, they are so emotional and so irrational that I just literally have to unfriend many of these black males. And I had to do that for my own peace of mind. And I also had to leave many Facebook men's groups because of the way many of these black males have been behaving, because I didn't want to deal with the memes directed at me that are negative. I didn't want to deal with the ad hominem attacks. And it was just a downright hostile environment. So I just wound up leaving several Facebook groups and unfriending several people. And some black men I've had to literally block on Facebook due to their extremely disturbing behavior. And again, this all fits with everything that David Carroll talked about as related to the way black men behave, the dysfunctional way black men behave, and the way that these black males are behaving. A lot of people online are now starting to notice the way they are behaving, And I'm getting messages from people on Facebook who are talking to me and asking me what is wrong with these black males. And I had one guy ask me that online, and I explained it to him, and he said that there was something wrong with these black males to get this upset at you, to get this berserk at you. And I've had foreign people come to me and ask the same thing. What is wrong with these black males? Because I get um, responses from people all over the world, and they're noticing this behavior from these black males. People in the UK, people in Germany, people in South Africa, people in France, people all over the world are watching these responses that these black males are making in these videos. They are watching these live streams that these black males are making. And what the irony is that these black males are saying that these foreign women are so-called better, but the irony is they can't see the negative impression they are leaving on those foreign women, because those foreign women have YouTube in their countries, they have Facebook in their countries, and when they watch social media and see black men on screen literally attacking another black man and going into practical fits as related to an opinion, it is actually leaving a negative impression on on people all over the world as related to the black male image. And this is the thing that the black men are not understanding as related to their passport derangement syndrome, is that they are leaving a negative image of themselves online, and the whole world is seeing their dysfunction on display all over the world. Again, I get responses from people in multiple countries who are extremely concerned about the behaviors of these black males, and the way they are acting is reflecting negatively on black men and reflecting negatively on the black image. So all of these black males, they don't understand the impression they are leaving on people all over the world with their behavior. They don't understand that the more they act out, the more they breathe brand new life into old stereotypes regarding the black image. And the more they act out, the more they prove many of these racist points regarding black men. So when you see these black men getting all emotional in these response videos, in these live streams, and participating in behaviors like talking bad about me online or making these memes, they are not putting a positive impression in the world as regarded to the black male image. In fact, what they are doing is making their own image look absolutely terrible online, and they are reflecting an extremely negative image to the world because they just don't see the big picture regarding themselves. Because these black males, they just don't understand how their behavior is reflecting negatively on the image as related to black men, and they don't understand how bad this is looking, because the world out here is looking at the black man, and they're asking critical questions about black male behavior. They are asking, why can't these black men agree to disagree? And moreover, they're asking the question, why is it that when one man presents an opinion about passports, they have no problem with it, and a white man presents that opinion, they have no problem with it, but when another presents it, you practically lose your minds? And that's the question a lot of people have been coming to me with, have been asking. And I look at this behavior, and again, this passport derangement syndrome. And it's something that I have been trying to deal with over the last 2 months. I mean, the original passport video, I wound up deleting it on YouTube and Black Avenger in an effort to try to protect the black male image. And I left it on BitChute because nobody usually goes over there. But the black males continue to participate in this extremely troubling behavior, not understanding how bad they are making themselves look. And in addition to losing Facebook friends, I lost several patrons who were donating to the channel. And these people, they were upset about the passport videos to the point where they wound up not wanting to support the Patreon anymore. Now, I again have been out of work for some time, and these videos are one of the ways that I make money. Thank you, Mogul Maze, for the donation. I really appreciate it. And this is how I make money. And again, these black males, because they were so upset about the passport videos, they didn't want to support the channel, and they didn't want to support the work that I put in to the channel. And that's something that they had an issue with, all because they disagreed with my points that were actually that on the passports. And they wanted to, they are doing this, I believe, in a way because these men, they know my financial situation, and what they want to do is find a way to hurt me because they were possibly, I believe, hurt by the points I presented in the passport video. So these men, they are so upset over an opinion, they want to destroy the business of a black man. And that is very troubling because they are so in their feelings about what a black man said in a YouTube video. But many of these same black males, they aren't that passionate to take any sort of action to deal with people like your DJ Kid, a pedophile who was coming to the black community to spread HIV. They are so caught up in their emotions about their hatred of black women that they don't think about ABC. That's a very good point. I mean, this is what's troubling to me. They have, some of them did unsubscribe, but what's really troubling is they don't want to move on. These same guys who unsubscribed the channel, because I had several people unsubscribe the channel, and that kept me from meeting the 11,000 subscription point for a good month or so. And what these people would do was they would unsubscribe the channel in anger, but they would still be watching the videos, still be posting the videos, and still commenting on the videos in their own little Facebook groups. And I found out one of them because I had posted a video about swirlers and passport videos. And these black males, they were watching that video on another platform, Black Junction, and they were getting all upset about it on that platform. And they were on there, but they sit there and they want to talk about, and I know that they're watching these videos. I know that they're watching these live streams, and it's really troubling. You're sitting there watching content you don't like. You're watching videos you don't like of a person you don't like, and you don't like that person all because you disagree with their opinion regarding one subject. And the point that you disagree with that person's opinion on that one subject literally has these black males so emotional that they practically are looking to try to destroy another black man. And again, these black males will sit there and enjoy destroying another black man, not understanding that when you destroy another black man who is trying to help you, then you make other black people who want to do positive things for the black community look at you and say, there's nothing most we can do with you because this man who is out here trying to help other black men with men's issues books and positive stories about the black experience, someone who promotes black love, someone who promotes black family, and someone who wants to promote positive picture of the black community, here we have a group of black males who are looking to tear that black man down. And they're looking to tear that black man down all because he disagrees with their opinions on this subject of black men getting passports and going overseas to pursue relationships with these so-called better foreign women. An argument that is easily refutable because if these women were supposedly so-called better than your black woman, then why are these women still single? You would think that these so-called better foreign women would have been picked up and married by the men in their own countries or the white male people who come to do business and tour, and they wouldn't have left those women available on the market as single for so long. And that's the critical question your black males never ask themselves about the so-called better foreign woman in many of these foreign countries. Why is that woman still single after all of this time? And why is she still in the dating scene after all of this time? Because there's a reason why these women are on the marketplace, and there's a reason why these men are on the marketplace as well. Because when I look at all of these black males who are so upset over the passport videos, what's really interesting to me is that all of these males are still single at the end of the day. And them being single is one of the most condemning things about their argument. They say that the foreign woman is supposedly better than the American black woman, but at the end of the day, these black males who want to attack me and want to try to destroy me, these males are still single at the end of the day. Why aren't any of these men married to the supposedly better foreign woman? And why aren't any of these men bringing the so-called better foreign woman back to America as a way to show that these women are supposedly better? That's another critical question that I proposed in several videos, and I'm proposing it right here because when I look at their behavior, again, it speaks volumes about their whole platform, and them being single practically destroys their own argument right in front of them. Because again, they say that these women are supposedly better. Then if the woman is supposedly better, you should have no problem getting married to that woman. So that right there tells me that their entire argument falls completely apart when you deconstruct this whole argument with the black men and the passports, and their argument saying, okay, this woman is better than the black woman, but why aren't you married to that woman? And the reason why many of those black men aren't married to those women has to do with their own dysfunctional behavior. And at the core of their dysfunctional behavior is their self-hatred, because a lot of these black males, they don't like black women. And when they say they don't like black women, they actually don't like themselves, because usually people like to see themselves reflected back at them. And these men don't like themselves. So that's why they want to get this foreign woman. It's just like the swirlers out here. The swirlers often say that they don't like black men, so they want to get this so-called better black man and explore their dating options with that white man, that Arab man, that Indian man, that Asian man. And again, they come from a position of health, self-hatred. And when I took a critical examination of both your passport, black male, and your swirler, I saw that they were two sides of the exact same coin and two wings on an extremely wounded bird. And this wounded bird is extremely sick, and this bird is very ill and it's in pain. And its pain is one of the things that drives it to be flying to try to fly around, but it keeps it stranded on the ground. This wounded bird with these two wings that cannot fly, it just flies around making a lot of noise. But what it doesn't see is at the end of the day, because this bird is so hurt and in such pain, it drives away anybody because this bird doesn't love itself. And because it doesn't love itself, it can never find love with anyone else. Neither the swirlers or the passport males seem to find love with the so called better choice, but the better choice isn't better because the problem is the perception of the black male and the black female. Both of them buy into the concept of white supremacy. And because they buy into the concept of white supremacy, they elevate someone above themselves. And when you elevate someone above yourself, you are deifying that person. You are worshiping that person, and you are not seeing that person as a human being on the same level as you, and you can't connect with that person in the same way you would connect with someone else. No, because you see this person as someone you worship, you don't see them as a human being. Instead, you see them as an attachment that you use to gain social currency with others. And your passport blackmail and your swirler, because they deify and worship people outside of their race, they don't love these people. No, they see them as attachments to elevate their own social status and elevate their own social, and to use them as social currency to inflate their own value. So your swirler wants to use your white man, your Asian man, your Arab man, your Indian man as a way to elevate her social status because she has low self-esteem, and your passport black male wants to use the same person, this foreign woman, as a way to elevate his own position in the world. And both the black man and the black woman want to use these people as a way to spite each other and say that they are better because they have this other person of another race on their arm. And when they do that, they are showing how much they hate each other and how much they hate themselves. And it's basically a tit for tat against each other. And I talked about this in my ebook, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, and how many Black women use this white man as a way to get back at Black men and try to get their attention. And I'm seeing the same thing with the Black males with the passports as well, that they're also using the exact same approach in the hopes of rubbing it in the face of the Black woman that they have been hurt by. And it's that hurt that drives their relationships. And because hurt is driving both of these Black men and Black women to pursue relationships, this is why many of them wind up single at the end of the day, because these people are hurting so badly, and it's that hurt and emotional baggage that winds up destroying their relationships at the end of the day, because these people are hurting so badly as related to people, the rejection they have felt as related to their Black male partner or their Black female partner. Both of them are hurting, and because they are hurting, they still are looking to find a way to heal, but they don't understand that you cannot heal by going outside of your race, because all you're going to do is find the exact same person in a different color. And because you're going to find the exact same person in a different color, that shows that the problem isn't the person's ethnicity. The problem isn't the person's race. The problem is the person themselves. And this problem is something that really does not get dealt with because these people don't want to take that minute to reflect on themselves, and they don't want to take a minute to reflect on their past relationships and why they failed. And this is something that your passport black male and your swirler, they don't want to take that look inside and see that the common denominator for all of their relationships failing is them, and them talking about exploring their options is only them going out here and looking for the exact same person in a different color. Now, many of these so-called players out here who want to go overseas, they want to use women. Unfortunately, what they don't see is that the whole passport narrative does not help them because they continue to make the exact same mistakes and they look to get the exact same women over and over again. Now, the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. And both your swirler and your passport black male do the exact same things and expect a different result. They expect to find a successful relationship and so-called happiness, but they don't see that the person who is impeding their happiness is themselves. And that's the reason why they cannot find happiness, is they cannot deal with the issues in themselves, because the thing that has them looking to find other people is all of that hurt and pain they refuse to confront as related to failed past relationships. And in the case of some of these so-called players, they want to play with women because they fear making a commitment as a husband to a woman. And because they fear making a commitment, they want to go overseas to play with other people, not understanding that people have feelings and people should not be used, because as it says in the Bible, we should do unto others as we would have them do unto us. And one of the cruelest things is a man using a woman or a woman using a man, basically like a toilet bowl. And then when it winds up reciprocating, what happens is this is when they start getting upset. When a lot of times when these guys get the tables turned on them and these women get the tables turned on them by these people, that's when they want to get angry, and that's when they want to get upset. And that's when you start hearing the same anger that they directed at black men and black women directed at these people of other races. And again, when I look at this whole thing with this passport derangement syndrome that these black males are participating in, it really shows me the maturity level of many of these black males out here, that they are so emotional over this subject, and they are only emotional as directed at me, but they're not emotional as directed at other people. So that shows me that there is some sort of serious issue that these males have with me, and these men, again, are not directing that anger at Sandman. They are not directing that anger at other black male YouTubers. And it shows that this issue they have, it's really troubling. But what's really disturbing is they don't see how they are hurting themselves, nor do they see how they are hurting the image of black men, because people all over the world now are seeing the behavior of black men online. And now they are asking really critical questions, not just to me, but they're also asking them in the comment sections. They're asking them in many social media groups. And when they ask these critical questions, they are looking at the behavior of black men, and that they are just they are bewildered, they are disturbed, and they are asking, why are these black men acting this way? And they look at that behavior, and it's just making a lot of people all over the world uncomfortable because it's all of this behavior is breathing brand new life in the old stereotypes about black male behavior. And it's really got some people really thinking maybe we should have these guys on some sort of watch list because these guys may participate in an international incident. Because if they're going to get this emotional about traveling overseas, then they may be a danger overseas. Because if they're getting this emotional and out of control, then what would happen if we were to put these black males on a flight? Moreover, you have some of the foreign women out here who are looking at these black males' behavior as related to an opinion, and they're getting again a negative impression of these black males, and they're second guessing dealing with them because they're saying if this man is getting this emotional over an opinion in a YouTube video, then what wouldn't how would they act if they disagree with me? If I have an issue with this black man and things are getting heated, what is this man capable of doing? Because if this man would go out here and get this heated and then do participate in behaviors like stalking a man online, cyberbullying a man online, harassing a man online, and participating in this type of behavior, then what would he do if we had a disagreement as related to a relationship? Or what would they do if they were in a situation where they got told no? I mean, this is the stuff that the black male isn't thinking about because he's so in his emotions that he's not thinking critically about how he's coming across to people all over the world regarding his behavior. And because he's not thinking about how he's coming across as related to his behavior, he's not thinking about how this is going to impact the overall black male image. Now, some of these black males, they dismiss the points that I make, but these are the points that I'm seeing from the international community all across the globe. People all over the globe are observing these response videos. They are observing the behavior in these Facebook groups. They are observing the behavior that these men are participating in, and they all are sitting there and asking tough questions. And this is what they're coming across and looking at it and saying, they're telling me there is something wrong with these black males. I mean, I've had white guys tell me that they look at the behavior and they're saying something's wrong with these black men. There are foreign people saying there's something wrong with this black man. And when these people tell me about their experiences with foreign women, they say that everything that I talk about in the passport videos is true. And I even had one of these women from a foreign country make several videos. I think her name is Saving Blackistan, where she reinforced many of the points I talked about. And people I'm talking to in the international community, they are coming across and saying that this happens. I've had people in the military say that this happens. And they're all talking about how a lot of these black males, they're coming from a point that doesn't make any sense to them. They understand that women are women, but your black male, he doesn't understand this. And what he wants to do is hold on to ideas that were told to him in videos that may be 10 or 12 years old. Like I remember Sandman talking about the expat video, and he said how old it was compared, because it was made in 2009, I believe, and it's 2019 now. And the nature of women has changed as related to many of those countries like Brazil, because feminism is on the rise there, and the policies over there have changed in the last 10 years now. So a lot of black men, they don't really understand how the world has changed. They don't understand how the passport narrative that they're following is a false one. And because they disagree with what I presented, again, is something that is quite disturbing to a lot of people, because they say, hey, why are you attacking this one man, but you're not going after these other men? Because these other men are expressing the exact same opinions, expressing the exact same talking points, but you're not going over to their channels looking to start with them. You're not looking to go into response videos where you're practically going crazy with them, and you're not looking to withdraw your subscription or your support in an effort to hurt them financially or to hurt their channels. You're not looking to try to hurt those men for presenting an opinion, but you'll go out of your way to try to hurt me, all because I present a point to the black man. And again, this behavior is quite troubling because why is it that you're upset at one black man, but you're not upset at other black men, and you're not upset at a white man? And I, in some cases, believe it's because of two reasons. One, I believe it's because some of these black males are in some way jealous, and jealousy is a female trait, something that many of the beta males participate in, that when they see a black man who is doing things and making progress, these men are upset about that progress. So they want to try to do things to impede that progress or try to destroy whatever growth that man has taken in his life, on efforts he has taken to build himself up. So they want to tear that black man down because they want to see that black man down on the ground. And I also believe, as I stated in another video, that maybe some of these black males were spiritually convicted by the original Passport videos, because for someone to get that emotional about that video, it had to hit them in their souls. And that's one thing I talked about in a video a while back, where I talked about spiritual conviction, because when someone is so spiritually convicted by a statement, it stays in their soul. And this is the reason why they just can't reconcile with it, because that means they have to go to the Most High in order to repent and then deal with that issue. But when it comes down to some of these black males and the behavior I've seen, when I did talk about the Most High, and I talked about fornication, and I talked about how they were out of order with God, and the spiritual conviction was about getting them right with God, there were literally men talking about how they were denouncing the Most High, and some of them were so angry at God, it was just quite troubling to see these men act like that as related to the Most High. We're speaking against God, all because of a man's opinion as related to foreign women, showing how they literally were making these foreign women like a god before them. And that was a violation of the Most High's first commandment, which was, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me," as related to the Old Testament, and Jesus' first commandment in the New Testament, where he said to love the Lord with all your heart, soul, and spirit. But these black males, they deified these foreign women in the exact same way your swirler deifies white men and non-black men. And they deify these people because they want these people to have the high value so that they can be the attachment they attach to themselves to say that they have some sort of value in the world. And that speaks volumes to the low self-esteem to many of these so-called passport black males and their behavior, because for them to have such low self-esteem is one of the things I believe driving them to get that passport and go overseas. Because most people who want to go overseas, they go overseas because they have business transactions and or they have family in those countries. And those are the two things that motivate people to go overseas. Now, I have no problem with black men going out here to travel overseas, but what I want black men to understand is that they need to keep their heads on a swivel in these countries because they are putting their lives at risk if they go in these countries and take their lives for granted. Because one of the arrogant things some of the black males who are upset with me have is that they believe that their money is everything and that because they have this money to travel, they can take their lives for granted. But a black man has to understand that in every country, he is behind enemy lines. And as a black American, you have to look out for yourself in these countries when you are behind enemy lines because you any moment that you take for granted, just like Saving Blackistan said, she's talked about how in these pubs, you just can't take it for granted that when you're in this bar with all of these white males who are drinking, especially during football season when the soccer games are on, anything could happen. And she also talked about the skinheads in some of these countries. So black men have to keep their head on a swivel in these foreign countries if they travel. So that's something black men have to do even here in America. And your black male, he doesn't understand this as related to the passport argument. He's thinking that he's going to go there and avoid white supremacy, but he doesn't understand that white supremacy is a global religion in many of these countries. And because white supremacy is global in these countries, they often see black men in a negative light. So a black man has to understand that wherever he goes, he has to keep his eyes open and he cannot be caught up in his lust as related to these foreign women and getting the attention of these foreign women because these foreign women, they may pay him attention because that black man has resources, but that may put the black man's life at risk. And also the black man has to think about how he is related to the so-called social pecking order because oftentimes many of those women who are paying the black man attention is because they can't get the attention of the men in their communities or these white men who have already had their way with them. So a lot of these black males, they go to these countries thinking that because these women are paying them attention, but the reason why they're paying them attention is because they have resources, and in many cases, they are their last chance at getting access to American resources because these men have American dollars, and because these men have access to American dollars, they think that they're getting access to that money and possibly a trip out of a poor country. And some of the whoremongers, they want to use these women to have sexual relations. But in these countries where feminism is on the rise, these guys may get set up for child support. You're not really thinking about the big picture as related to things. Moreover, they're not thinking about venereal disease as related to these countries because I recently read a report about how so many immigrants were coming to America and cities like New York City are having high venereal disease rates. And a lot of these are coming from these foreign women, and a lot of these foreign women have venereal disease because they have more sex partners than your average American black woman. So many black men, they're thinking that they're getting a better deal by going overseas, but they don't understand in some of these countries, some of these women have higher, what they call body counts than your traditional black woman who already is promiscuous. But in these other countries, a lot of times that promiscuity is driven by these women looking for access at these white male tourists first, and then looking for these black men last. And that's after the men in their own country, and after the white men, and then after the Asian men, the Arab men. They all look at the black man. And sadly, a lot of the black males are so in their feelings, they really cannot see the big picture as related to things. Yeah, the Supremo, it is with white women too, and the white women are also in these countries going overseas looking for foreign men, and it's actually the same thing. And this is something black men aren't really looking at. They're just thinking, they're just feeling with their emotions. And again, when I look at the way they are acting, it's all really pointed at me. It's not pointed at another brother who I think he posted a video of a black man who was locked up in a Dominican jail, and he's been there for over um, close to a year now. This was a video of another brother, a guy on Facebook showed me. The guy has been in a Dominican jail for over a year now as related to a relationship with a Dominican woman. And nobody wants to talk about that brother who was locked up and is stuck in the Dominican justice system. And sadly, that could happen to any other black man the same way it almost happened to ASAP Rocky. But the brother in the Dominican jail, he didn't have a President Trump to get him out, and he didn't have the connections with the State Department that President Trump had. And that was something else your black male doesn't want to think about as related to the whole passport thing, because this guy in the Dominican jail, he was living with the Dominican woman. Things went bad, and he didn't understand the laws of that land. And now he's in a jail, and he's been in a jail since December of 2018, from what I saw in the video. And these are things that can happen to your black man if he doesn't understand how these countries run. He doesn't understand the local laws. He doesn't understand the local language. When a black man thinks with his penis, he could wind up screwing himself in the worst fashion whatsoever as related to his life. And this is the thing that is really troubling about many of these black males out here, is that they're so caught up in their feelings about me that they're not thinking about things like the image of black men, the reputation of black men, and they're not even thinking about things as related to their own intangibles of manhood. Again, these are supposed to be the so-called educated, professional, top of the line, select brothers, and they are acting in ways that make black men look like adolescent children and embarrassing black men all over the world. And again, people all over the world are starting to notice this behavior. And again, they are looking at the behavior of these black males, and they are asking tough questions, because they look at this behavior and they come to me on Facebook, they come to me in the YouTube comment section sometimes, they come to me and they even in emails, and they ask what is wrong with these black males. And my only response is like what I have in this live stream. The only response I can really give everybody is, it seems like these black males have a bad case of passport derangement syndrome, similar to your Trump derangement syndrome. And with the Trump derangement syndrome, we saw people having meltdowns because the 2016 election did not go the way they wanted it to go. And because that election did not go the way they wanted to go, this is why people were having meltdowns. This is why people are throwing tantrums. And this is why many people in Congress are trying to do things to undermine President Trump, a man that Americans elected by their choice. And this is why people are trying to impeach your Donald Trump right now. Now, I don't agree with your Donald Trump. However, I understand that Donald Trump is the duly elected president that we, the people, chose. And if people don't like Donald Trump, instead of them trying to find things to destroy Donald Trump, what they need to do is present a platform that shows what they are going to offer the American people to take them in a direction that is more constructive. Now, when I look at the passport derangement syndrome, it is a group of black males who are upset about the opinions I have presented in the videos refuting the passport narrative. And because they are upset and cannot come up with a cohesive argument, what they do is they continue to go get caught up in their emotions, and them getting caught up in their emotions shows how extremely dysfunctional these black males are. Because when you have black males who are out here participating in things like when you can't even have a discussion with them because they're so emotional, when they're doing things like spending 20 to 40 minutes making memes on Photoshop to mock someone, and when they are doing things like following another man's social media, following his Twitter, following his Facebook, stalking him online, looking to dig up dirt. When you look at that behavior, that's extremely troubling behavior when you think that it's all related to an opinion. Because most people, when they see an opinion they disagree with on social media, like when I see videos on social media that talk about different subjects that I disagree with, what I do is I just hit that red X on the PC on the right hand side, or on the Mac like I have right now. They hit that X on the left hand side and they just click out of it because they understand the value of their time. And time is something that is extremely precious. And because time is extremely precious, people realize that they have too much time in their life to waste on an opinion. And what they do is they click out of that content. They have an opinion that they disagree with the opinion on. They move on with their lives and they let things go. But your black male, because many have been raised in single mother households where they did not understand the value of time, these black males look to continue to try to attack another man and try to destroy another man because they don't understand the concept of time. Because for a man to spend his time making response videos, 3 to 4 hour live streams talking about another man, and making memes and attacking another man on social media, that really shows that these black males, who are supposed to be our so called select brothers, our supposed educated brothers, don't understand the concept of time. Because men like myself who understand the concept of time, we understand that time is something that is precious. Time is something that once you lose it, it is already gone. And when you have black men wasting time like this, it shows how extremely dysfunctional their behavior is. Because a rational, critical thinking man, again, when he sees a video that he disagrees with the opinions of, he's going to click out of that video, move on with his day, and then go on to go do other things. That's what I do when I see certain videos. I mean, last week I saw some videos from people I was subscribed to, and I didn't really like the content of that video, but I like their channel and I like the stuff on their channel. So I said, I'm not going to watch that video, but I will watch other videos. But that's what a rational person does. They don't sit there and get mad at the other person and get so emotional to the point where they're going to go and look to attack that person or look to try to destroy that person in ways that because they disagree with that person. They're going to move on with their life because they understand the concept of time. They understand how valuable time is, and they don't want to waste time. But your black male, he doesn't understand that intangible of time and its value, and that's why he's looking to keep going back and forth. And some of these guys, they want to get some back and forth going because they want to get YouTube views and add revenue. And others, again, they just want to hurt me personally because some of them are saying that I got so-called woke and they want to make me go broke. And this is one of the reasons why they want to take money out of the Patreon, is they want to break me and they want to try to destroy my way of making money on things like Patreon and Cash Apps, because that's how I keep the channel going and that's how I keep making money to do things like support other black comic creators out here, because a lot of the money I get on Patreon, I use it to pledge Kickstarters to support black comic creators and then help them meet their funding goals. And I also use it to fund projects like the ISIS graphic novel. And these men, they want to destroy that because they are upset over an opinion. And again, it just shows how they don't really understand how they're not only hurting me, but they're hurting other Black comic creators, and they are also hurting the Black community. Now, many of these Black males, they'll look to deny me money, but they don't see how these white supremacists, even though they disagree with guys like George Zimmerman, the man who murdered Trayvon Martin, um, Darren Wilson, the man who murdered Michael Brown, those men, when white supremacists go out here, they may not agree with those guys, but they sure go out of their way to fund them. Guys like Richard Spencer will find a way to fund those guys and make sure that they get money. I mean, George Zimmerman gets money wherever he goes. Michael Brown, this murderer, Darren Wilson, has over $1 million. But these Black males, they want to take money away from me, all because I present an opinion regarding passports and Black men going overseas. And that again shows how dysfunctional they are. They want to destroy the Black man for presenting a difference of opinion, and they want the Black man to fall in line with their groupthink. But these racists out here, they are out here and they are supporting their guys, and they are supporting their people regardless of their opinions, because they want to get their narrative and their message out there. And meanwhile, a Black man like myself who wants to promote positive stories about the Black experience and diverse stories about the Black experience, wants to promote concepts like the Black family and promote a positive image of Black manhood and masculinity. I have Black males, all because they hear my opinion on passports, looking to take money from me and looking to destroy my platform, all because they disagree with the points that I have presented as related to passports. And again, that shows how deeply troubled many of these Black males are with their passport derangement syndrome. They are looking to destroy a Black man who is out to help them, all because he presents opinions they disagree with. Meanwhile, many of the same people who are out here on these white and non-Black places that they want to go to, they are out here supporting their guys full force. And the reason why they're supporting their guys is because they understand that while there are differences of opinion, there is a more important cause and a bigger picture as related to the people they support. So when I look at these Black males and their behavior, again, this passport derangement syndrome is what another aspect of the dysfunctional beta male behavior that many of these Black males have. Because again, why are all of these Black males getting upset over a series of YouTube videos that one man produces, but not getting upset at these other brothers out here who are producing the exact same videos talking about foreign women, or Sandman, a white man who has gone out and talked about these Latin American women and refuted the passport narrative in his classic Sandman video, where he talked about Latin American women 2 weeks ago. Where is that outrage at Sandman, and where is that outrage at these other Black males? And that's the question that I ask, because when I look at their behavior, it speaks volumes about Black male dysfunction. And what's really sad is we are seeing this Black male dysfunction all over the world. People, again, see these Black men acting like this, and they are asking tough questions as related to his behavior. I'm glad to see you here, Benny. I'm getting ready to wrap up the stream in about a minute or so, because I think I've presented all of my talking points as related to this passport derangement syndrome. And I wanted everybody to get some clarity on passport derangement syndrome, because this passport derangement syndrome, it's really making all Black men look bad, because when you have Black men acting like this and it's all over social media, it's not a good look for all of us, and it's an embarrassment to all of us as a people. So we really, as Black men, have to understand how we're coming across on when you're making these response videos, when you're making these memes, when you're going into these ad hominem attacks on Facebook and Twitter and stalking a man's Twitter. This is not a good look for Black men, and this is not a good presentation of Black men, because again, when a man has a difference of opinion, all you have to do is click out. And again, to see Black men doing things like unsubbing a channel and then still watching the videos, again, dysfunctional behavior on the part of the Black male, and he doesn't understand how this is reflecting on the entire world. Now, I've lost a lot of YouTube subscribers and a lot of Facebook friends and a lot of Patreon supporters, and I really do need that financial support because I've been out of work for some time, and the way I make money is through making the YouTube videos, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would donate to the Patreon to help me continue making videos, or to donate to the Cash App to help me continue making videos, or you can donate via PayPal to help me continue making videos. And I would really also appreciate it if you guys would go out here and pick up some of the books of the SJS Direct imprint, like John Haynes' A Conversation with Death, John Haynes' Dark Succubus, Isis, All That Glitters, Esteem, Goddess of. Thank you for Prodigal Son 75, or the other books in the SJS Direct imprint. There's a whole bunch of them on Amazon.com. I wrote over 60 of them. Books like The Temptation of John Haynes, The Man Who Rules the World, and there's a bunch of other books on Amazon. So I really appreciate it. If you brothers and sisters, everybody out there, continue to help me continue making the work, and continue to help me doing the work on the SJS Direct imprint, and do these live streams and other projects out here. I would put up a link to Amazon, but it's YouTube has a problem with it, but I'll try to put it up. But this is where all my books are, and I want to thank all of you that actually came through. So I would appreciate if you go over to Amazon and pick up some of the books. I thank you all for coming to the live stream, and I hope you'll be there for the next stream.